So now we're going to do another factorization problem. We want to solve the equation 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 equals 0. Okay? So now, what I want you to observe here when we're looking at this problem is that this one is slightly different from what we had before. Okay? Here, there was only an x squared here. Here, there's a 2. This complicates matters in terms of factoring. And now, if all of the terms had coefficients that were divisible by 2, we could factor out the 2 and make that less of an issue. However, that's not the case here. So we're going to have to do something slightly different to solve this problem. And so here, my explanation is going to be a little bit longer, but it's going to be okay. And I want you guys to bear with me as I explain this. Okay, so what I want to imagine for a moment that my factors now look like this. Let's say ax plus b for some numbers a and b that I don't know, times, let's say cx plus d for two numbers c and d that I don't know. Okay, so let's imagine that I could factor it like this. Again, I don't know what a, b, c, or d are, but we're going to FOIL this out to see what would have to happen for us to have this equal that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply it out. It's going to be ax times cx, which is going to be acx squared plus adx plus bcx plus bd. Okay. So I'm going to simplify that a little bit here. So in other words, I'm going to get acx squared plus, I'm going to factor this out, so it'll be ad plus bc x and then plus bd. Okay. So what I want you to observe here, okay, is that if I want this factorization to equal this, then this BD, B times D is going to have to equal, in our case, negative 12. And AC is going to have to equal 2, because the AC times x squared will be the 2x squared. Okay? And then we're going to experiment to see what the middle term is going to have to be. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to make a factor tree. I'm going to make a list of factors for 12. And I'm going to make a list of factors for 2x squared. Okay? Basically for 2. So I'm just going to put the numbers here. But that's going to be the idea here. So for 12, I have 1 times 12. I have 2 times 6. I have 3 times 4. And then, let me see here. And that's basically it, right? Because if you start going further, then you start going this way. You start, like, for example, the next one would have been 4 times 3. The next one would be 6 times 2. And the next one would be 12 times 1. But those are already represented here. For the 2x squared, we're in luck because it's only going to be 1 times 2. Those are the only possibilities, right? 1 times 2. So now we're going to have the following possible factorizations. It's going to be 2x minus 1 times x plus 12, or it'll be 2x plus 1 x minus 12, or it's going to be 2x minus 12 x plus 1, or it's going to be 2x plus 12 x minus 1, or it's going to be 2x, and same thing with all the rest of these. So it's going to be a total of 4, 8, 12. It'll be 12 possibilities. Now, okay, I'm going to make the whole list of possibilities here. And of course, when you're first learning this technique, you might have to do it a couple of times. But if you start thinking about it over here, you can start thinking, I want to make negative 5 as the product. And so I can try and play with these numbers. See, when I FOIL this out, okay, let me look at this first one, for example. I'm going to have 2x times 12, so that'll be 24x minus x, which will be 23x. So you see that 2 is going to affect the situation. So what I'm going to try and think about is how can I get these numbers to kind of adjust so that I can add up to 5. And so if you look at this, 2 times 24, 2 times 1, these two numbers are going to be too big. 2 times 6, that's 12. If I look at the 2, that will be something like 10. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is very close to the 6. But if you look here at the 3 and the 4, 2 times 4 is 8. If I could somehow have it be 8 minus 3, then I will get the 5. But that would be positive 5. So maybe 2 times negative 4. Okay? So in other words, like what I'm claiming is that my factorization is going to be 2x times x minus 4 and then plus 3. Okay? I want you to notice that like you don't have to make out all these factors. You can start playing with these numbers to try and figure out what the factorization could be. Now, I'm going to continue making this list of factors so that you can see this process and how it's done. But I want you to realize that as you develop more experience doing these, you'll be able to see it more quickly. Okay, so anywhere over here, it'll be 2x minus 2x plus 6, 2x plus 2x minus 6, 2x minus 6, x plus 2, and then 2x plus 6, x minus 2, and then finally 2x minus 3, x plus 4, 2x plus 3, x minus 4, 2x minus 4, x plus 3, and then 2x plus 4, x minus 3. Okay. Now, these are the complete list of possibilities for the factorization of this one. Okay. Now, I can start going through these to figure out what the middle term would be. Okay. And by the way, let me also say something else. This example is also useful because, like, you know, if you're ever on one of those days when you're having a funk and for whatever reason you're having a difficulty in trying to figure out what the factorization is, you can always just go through this list exhaustively. Okay. But so let us try and find out what the middle terms would be. If I take this first one, right, that'd be 2x times 12, that's 24x, minus x, that's 23x, not negative 5x. Here it'll be negative 24 plus 1, which is negative 23x, also not negative 5x, as you all know already. So 2x minus 12x, that's negative 10x, not negative 5x. Negative 2x plus 12x, that's positive 10x. Here, 2x times 6, that's 12x minus 2x, that's 10x. This is negative 12x plus 2x is negative 10x in the middle. 4x minus 6x, that's negative 2x here. Here, negative 4x plus 6x is positive 2x. 8x minus 3x, aha, that's plus 5x. Close. It's not negative 5x, but it's closer. Here, 2x times negative 4, that's negative 8x plus 3x. Aha, negative 5x. Notice here again, 2x times negative 4 gives you negative 8x plus 3x is negative 5x. So here we have it. Okay, this is our factorization. Okay, and so once we know our factorization, we can double check it, but we can also find our solutions finally, because this equation can now be written as, so our equation is equivalent to 2x plus 3 times x minus 4 equals 0. And this is only going to equal 0 if 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, or if x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? Okay. So then, if this one is equal to 0, then I subtract 3. I get 2x equals negative 3. I divide by 2. I divide by 2. And I get that x is equal to negative 3 halves. Okay. Here I add 4, and I get x equals 4. And there we have it. We have solved this equation.